Hello, everybody. It's Lorna Hennington and Tracy Bates back with the Bates Hennington Real Estate Group. Happy Black History Month. We're here with someone, I'm sorry, who doesn't have a Black History thing behind her, but she is wonderful and fabulous. Andy Christenot from Movement Mortgage.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, Andy. Thanks for coming today.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Andy. I forgot to say thanks. I was just going to roll right into it. Andy, you're the best. Today's topic is out of control. What's out of control in lending? So there are we're seeing a lot of offers, and we're actually, frankly, writing a lot of offers with some things that are a little bit out of control. So one of the big things that's out of control is a lot of offers now. Sellers are asking that buyers write offers that waive their appraisal contingency. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have an appraisal. And that doesn't mean that perhaps you can't pull out on some other reason. But if you decide you're going to stay in it and the house doesn't appraise, you're going to have to pay the difference between the appraisal and what your contract price is.
Maybe. Let's let Andy talk about all that.
Andy.
Hi, ladies. Let me just make a little disclaimer. I am not savvy enough to change my background. So
we'll pretend.
Okay.
I'm with you.
We know that you are.
We know.
So yes, out of control appraisals, out of control. Yeah. And I say that just because the appraisal from a lending perspective, we are loaning money, not just on the client's qualifications, but we're also loaning on the collateral. So what we're seeing a lot in Los Angeles and outer areas and things like that, multiple offers, 5, 10, 15. I've seen up to 57 offers on properties. And those offers are obviously driving prices up. So just for example, properties listed at $799 and there's 30 offers and the price drives up to $950 or $975, for instance. If that property doesn't appraise, the buyer has to, if the price can't be negotiated, if Mr. Seller says, I had 30 other offers, I'm not negotiating the price, the buyer then has to bring in those funds. Let's just say in this scenario, the property goes under contract at $975 and it appraises at $950 or even $900. That buyer has to make up that discrepancy because as a lender, we are loaning on the lower of the two, either the purchase price or the appraised value, whichever is less. So our loan's going to be based on that $950 or that $900,000 value in this scenario. So really crazy. It's crazy.
Very out of control. You actually backed it up to something else that's out of control for anybody who's listening, who's not in Los Angeles. Yes, we're going $100,000 and $200,000 over property, over the asking price of properties that are priced, close to $1 million. That's out of control. But so, yeah. Andy, I mean, does that affect other things besides just what the funds that the buyer has to bring in, the appraisal and people trying to get a really short appraisal period or waiving it all together?
Yeah, appraisal timeline is definitely a factor as well. And not just for my company, Movement Mortgage, or it's across the board in lending. Again, it's a supply and demand thing. There are only a certain number of appraisers that are qualified and licensed to do residential appraisals. And none of us are operating from some secret list of appraisers. So when we're going in and I'm ordering an appraisal, that appraiser could be doing 15 appraisals for B of A, Wells Fargo, so on and so forth. So if I'm ordering and who knows how many other people are also ordering, and we only have this limited number of appraisers, they are so backed up that they're taking a little extra longer. On our end, on average, I would say 8 to 10 days is realistic, probably closer to the 10. Whereas a few months ago, we could have turned it around in 5 days easily.
Wow.
So the point, I guess to sum it all up, the point of this is to say that yes, things are out of control, but talking to your realtors and talking to your lender is important so that you'll know, what your parameters are. Maybe
Yeah.
you can waive an appraisal contingency. Maybe that's something that you don't want to do. Maybe you can shorten the appraisal contingency timeline and make that shorter and make your offer more attractive. Maybe you can't. These are things that you really need to make sure you have an understanding about and talk to your realtor and your lender.
That's right.
Thanks so much, Andy. This was super important. We are looking forward to the next installment with Andy, Loans 101. Until next time. Thanks for joining us, everybody.